He goes for a double leg takedown. I'm sprawling. Notice I got my hips back and I put my chest on his upper back. I'm underhooking on this side. All right, and then I'm going to catch him in a front headlock. Anytime you're countering and sprawling a double or a single, you can end up with the head and one arm inside your arms and get a good front headlock. And we're going to do an alligator roll off of that. So what I do is I make a V with my wrist and I pull his elbow away. My head goes in his armpit. And then once his arm is pulled forward, I pull it over to the side and grab it with my left hand. So I've got here, pull it over, and now I'm in good position to dive my head and roll. And I'll control his roll, sort of moderate it by holding on to this arm as well. When I'm coming up, I come across his body, cover his chest, and sit out, modified scarf hold. From here, I'm initially going for an Americana, but I'm using one arm to attack the other arm. I go for this arm, and this arm tries to save it, and that's when I attack this arm. So I'm coming here for the Americana, and I'm about to get it, and he reaches for those hands together and wants to bring his arm up like this and save this arm. And so a good way to look at attacking someone with experience is expect them to do the right thing and see if there's a way you can attack off of that, because that's what he's going to do. He's not going to do something that's a beginner's mistake. He's going to go for a good counter, and he's availing this arm to save this arm. So here he goes for that, and here's what I do. Is I bring this arm back and I hook his other arm and I get my chest behind his shoulder and I start to roll him like that. I can be hooking with this arm initially, or I can change hooks if I want. But I'll go with this one for now. And now I can step this knee up on his ribs, keep my hips low, and I've got to shift my weight onto his ribs so my hips can stay low and I can step past his head and sit back with his arm. Now, additionally, when I'm here fighting for this arm, go ahead and hold on. Let's say he's still fighting it. Now I can use the same idea of using one attempted finish to lead into the next as he does a sensible counter. If he's kind of flat on his back, it wouldn't be a good idea for me to go for a cross arm lock when he's flat on his back. But if I did this, expecting him to pull this arm through, I could get him to walk into a triangle choke. And normally you wouldn't go for an arm lock against someone who's flat on their back like this, because you can't get behind their shoulder. It ends up being shallow. This is as deep as you get it if he's flat on his back. And so it's hard to control that arm all the way up to the shoulder. But if you're not really expecting to get it, then fine. You just let him pull his arm through, and as he yanks his arm through, he gets up, and I let his head in, and we walk right into a triangle from there. So that is a three-stage finish with a bit of misdirection. There's a ruse there where you initially go for Americana, he goes to save it, you get the arm lock, but if you sit back with the arm lock and he's flat on his back and pulls the arm through, he sits up into a triangle choke. What you find is when you catch somebody like that, you can catch someone bigger and stronger, and they'll walk into it so you didn't feel like you had to work as hard for it. So good technique really is about setting it up well so that he just walks right into it. By the time he's starting to realize it was a mistake, it's kind of late. Things are already cinched up and tight, and then you don't really risk losing leg position. So looking at this one more time, shoots that double. Here we are, okay? Now from here, I strip the arm away and I got it. I roll, I come up, I go for the Americana, he saves it. I hook this arm, here we are. I may get it, but if he's holding on and I'm fighting for it, he pulls it through. And I bring him right up. As soon as he gets his base, he can't really stack me. He's trying to get up on his knees. And in that interim, there's time for me to cinch up the triangle and get it all the way in before he really has his arms in position or any balance to do anything about it.